So this is how you get free leads, free phone numbers, free emails from the internet. Okay, so the app is called Apify.com. So I'm going to take you guys through kind of a brief tutorial, but it's good enough to get the idea from here. So you go to Apify.com. Let's see if we even go to the original. That might take me somewhere else. Right. So you first go in, I guess. You'll be here, and then just go to your console. Make an account. It's pretty easy, just like logging in with your email and stuff like that. So we'll start here with the App Store, and then we'll go through a few of these. Sorry, yeah, not the App Store, the Apify Store. So for this task, I'm basically going to get a web scraper, web crawler. So the difference between a web scraper and a web crawler: a scraper will think of it like one page. It'll scrape, it'll take data from that one page, whether it's email, phone number, whatever you want. A crawler will go into that same page, probably scrape, take data from that page, and then click the next button, or click on the ad, or basically crawl to the next page, or go on to the next page and then scrape data from there. So that's kind of the difference. Cool. So there is this website. Let's just take a random website. It's not that random, but this is a website. It's a Spanish website where a bunch of ads are posted here by business owners. So I'll just show you around real quick. All right, cool. So yeah, you see here, there's just a bunch of ads. Like there's an ad here. So you obviously consider this as a page, right? And if you notice, the second ad here actually has their phone number listed on this page. Think of it like this. But this one doesn't, right? So this requires web crawling. This one requires web scraping, meaning that the information is already on this flat page. So web crawling would consist of actually clicking on this ad, closing this ad, and then there you go. There's the phone number, right, of the business or the advertiser. Cool. So this is the web. Basically, you can choose any website, Indeed, LinkedIn, Facebook. I mean, there's just whatever you want to scrape. Or if you're wondering, yeah, you can just scrape from everywhere. If you're wondering, okay, so anyways, let's go here. So we'll start here. And I'll just let me just go down through this panel here. The dashboard, we'll get into it later. Actors is just, think of them like, not really agents, but actor just means like a scraping agent. Let's just keep it simple, okay? It's just it's a piece of code that goes on the internet and grabs data for you, okay? Runs, that's the job that we're gonna be doing. Save tax integration schedules, we're not gonna mess with that today. I think my actors is for you when you create your own actor. You basically upload your code. I haven't really got into this, but we're just doing a basic review. And proxy, this has to do with like if whatever website you're crawling or scraping, you're having issues, you might have to do some settings because some websites have strong detections for bots. Basically, this is a bot, whatever this is doing. And then you have your storage, billing and settings. The most important thing is right here. So the RAM is pretty much like the job you're going to be doing. And yeah, if you're running a bunch of actors at the same time, we'll just be running one today. But if you're running a bunch of scrapes and crawling, there's a limit of 8 GB RAM. And then so this is the free tier, guys, by the way. You're going to get a $5 tier, meaning that you can run up $5 worth of scraping data. And on the left, I think I've used it a few times. And so I got amazing results. I'm going to show you right now for just 46 cents, which I didn't even pay. It's part of the free tier. And then obviously if you want to upgrade, you'll click on this. So that's just a brief interview here on the sidebar. And let's just keep it simple. So when you want to search an actor, this is like, let's say you want to focus on, I'm doing a general scrape, which is for this website. There's no specific actor that's designed in code for this to scrape this specific website. That's because I guess this website is not that famous or popular. But if we search like, I don't know, Indeed, there's going to be a bunch of scrapers, crawlers that we can use. And to pay attention here, there's like a word here, and there's like a / and then Indeed scraper. So let's look at the first word. So the first word is the developers. This is the team or the people or whoever created the scraper. There's a / and it's called Indeed scraper. So the Indeed scraper, that's probably what it does, right? So this scrapes Indeed, same thing, and this one might specifically scrape for jobs. Yeah, so like depending on what you're trying to do, let's say I want to like build some automation to apply for jobs for me or build resumes for me. So we can connect Apify with other apps too, through APIs and MCPs. But today it's just a basic idea of how Apify works. So we're not going to get too technical, or we're not going to connect this to another app like Make.com or N8N or any other third party to make the whole situation more complex and automate certain jobs. We're just going to do a basic thing here so we can get the general idea of how Apify works. Cool. So what I did, because let's say, actually I haven't even tried this. Classificado. So this is the name of this is the name of the website I'm scraping, and as you can see, I don't even know what this is. This doesn't even look related to the website that I'm trying to scrape. I don't know what the hell this is. Hold on, let me just check it out real quick. Extract from Zona Prop. No, this is totally something different. So obviously the reason why there's no specific code written scraper for this is because it's not that popular, like I said earlier. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, if you look sort of here at the bottom, there's like rating stars, so you can see how people rate the scraper, and then you'll see, I guess that's how many stars or ratings they've been there, and then that's 63 people have used it or are currently using it. So wow, this one has 24K. All right, cool. So I think you get the point. But let me talk about, I used a basically general scraper, and I use Claude to help me along this journey when I first started using Apify, because I don't like to use my brain, so I like AI to do everything for me. All right, so let me just show you which scraper I used. I basically use one from the developers of Apify, and it's a general scraper, but it's enough to get what I wanted. Actually, probably more than enough. Cool. So that's just we just talked about that, right? It's just the App Store. All right, cool. Just looks like the one I used earlier. 1 second. Okay. So let's go to the dashboard. So this is where it's going to get more interesting. Oh crap. All right, sorry. All right. Things bothering me. Alrighty then. That's T for the masters. Right, so here we have like playwright scraper. So I used a general scraper, which was more than good than what I needed. So if you look at this thing here, there's a little icon, and it's called a playwright scraper. So this is the one that you would probably search for in the Apify Store. Now, I would recommend this one if you're doing some scraping, if you want to like if you want to grab emails and phone numbers from a website, so you don't have to manually put it together in your own Google Sheet. It basically does it for you. I would type this in to the Apify Store, right? So I guess this is as many times as I ran it. So Apify can be a little bit technical. I have a programming background, so I'll quickly touch on that. But it doesn't have to be technical, but what I would do if you're super non-technical, you don't know nothing about code, if you see anything that's confusing or any code, I would recommend you just take a screenshot, upload it to Claude or ChatGPT, and basically just tell it what you're trying to do, and it'll guide you through the steps. It'll even tell you what buttons to push and what to look for. Cool. So these are just suggested actors. We don't need to look at this. And then this is, so this one here is basically my success of today. So what this means, I was searching for emails and phone numbers from businesses so I can contact them to sell them my AI solution system for their enterprise or build their business. And so this one got me 5 phone numbers, and then this one got me 6 phone numbers, and then probably a couple emails too. But then I tweaked it a little bit. I changed some settings with the help of Claude, and then boom, I got like 300 emails. I'm sorry, I don't even know how many emails, maybe 30 emails and 300 phone numbers. The 278 is the phone numbers. And then here, obviously I ran it in the same day. This job took 4 minutes. So there was an issue here. Actually, they got me no phone numbers. So I had a little bug there and I fixed it. This one took 16 seconds, got 5 phone numbers. This one took 20 seconds, gave me 1 more phone number and some extra data that I didn't need. And then I did some more tweaking on the code or whatever, or the settings. And then boom, this one took 25 minutes, 41 seconds. But every minute, it was giving me like, I think about every minute it was giving me like 20 emails or 20 phone numbers. So it says 25 minutes to complete because I think it did like 49 pages. I forget how many pages it did, but every minute I was getting, literally it was showing up on my screen. I'll just show you here in a second. Cool. So, and you can see this is the actor or the scraper that I ran. Cool. Let me just show you my success phone numbers, and then, but let me just see if there's anything else here. This is just clicking into the scraper. I want to see if I can show you the run. I think I'll just get straight into it. So if we just click on this, export dataset. Okay, so basically it's asking me if I want to export all my phone numbers into one of these sheets. And this is where I'm talking about where, like, once you grab the data you wanted or emails, you can export it to something else and then, use a different app, or you can connect it through a different app, but we're not doing that today. I want to go and see if I can show you. Yeah, this is where you want to be. And actually there's another, I want to see there was another section. I guess, 1 second. I think it's not going to show me. I want to see if we can go. Okay. So I don't even know how I got here. All right, cool. So information, just 1 second. All right, so let's just start here. So this is actually extremely important. This is where you do the tweaks, right? So anyways, we still have our tab here on the left. And then this is, you probably won't need to use some of these, but let's just start from here, from the top. It'll just say your scraper name. And I'm doing paper usage, whatever that is, limitations. This is kind of like I told you before, the name of the company, which is developed by Apify themselves, and name, and then Apify is the developer team. Anyways, so here you have a form. So this form, it's the least technical that it's going to get, and then here on the JSON, it's the most technical that it's going to get. You might have to touch these a little bit, but not that much. If you don't know what a JSON is, JSON just means, it's just JavaScript object notation. It just means a big chunk of code. And if you look, I'll get into it a little bit. If you look at this open bracket and then this closing curly bracket, that's basically what it is. It's just a big piece of code that stores variables. So this is the key, and this is this definition, right? So left and right, and then some other variables, and we don't have to get into that. Let me see. There are some of these. Okay, so this one I had to turn it. Like when you have issues with any of this code, take a screenshot, copy and paste it into Claude or ChatGPT, and then tell it what you're trying to do, and it'll tell you exactly how to change it. So a couple of the changes that I had to do was this one here. Close cookie modals. It was false before. I changed that to true. Glob. Okay, so the globs is basically the crawling, the extra steps or the extra links or the extra web pages that that you need to instruct the AI, the crawling to do. Basically, think of it like the two steps. I'll show you more here in a minute. There was another thing I changed. Respect. I didn't touch that. I didn't touch this either. Don't touch any of this. This is one I changed. DOM content loaded. I think I had to change this because there was probably an issue with the website, because the website had advertisement as well. So this is where I was getting no phone numbers and it got stuck. So I just did a couple of tweaks, but remember, like I said, Claude can help you out with this. Okay, cool. So on this first URL, which is just the website, you're gonna basically post or copy paste. So basically, I just went here, and if you see here, I'm getting a bunch of office jobs. So this is companies posting their ads asking for a receptionist or something, and I just grabbed that link, which is basically this here. So for example, if you take this off, oops, which is exactly right. So this is exactly the same thing, right? So, but this is without the extra whatever. So you So you copy whatever you're trying to script, and then, so if you look at the bottom here, this one has 6 pages. So we're trying to steal phone numbers and emails from this. Okay. Oops. All right. So right, where was I? Okay. So you copy paste this here, and then this is what it's really important, guys. So this is the glob pattern. So this is it's basically related to this one. You want to copy paste it, and then do you see how this one you have to click into it, and you click into it because the phone number is not there, right? So like if you go back, phone number is nothing. This is a different ad, this is a different ad, but this ad has no phone number, but you click on it and the phone number is there. So you copy this one. This is going to be your second glob, right? Oops. So this second one here, okay, this is after I clicked on the advertisement. You're going to paste it here. That's why it's called a subcategory. And then, so yeah, so all this here, you'll just paste it here. So what this is doing, and this is the original one page back of the advertisement. So what this is saying, these glob patterns is basically teaching the code or teaching the system that you're about to run that this is how I want you to grab the data. You know, if it's not here, if it's here, grab the phone number. This is what it's saying. If it's not there, go on to click on the advertisement itself and then grab the phone number from there, right? And it's also understanding that there's multiple pages, meaning there's going to be about 6. If you go back here, it'll say 6. So there's 6 pages that we need to crawl through. Okay. I didn't really touch this. You don't really have to unless you're trying to exclude some stuff. So this code, if you have any issues, let me see. Okay, so this code was actually written by Claude, so you guys don't have to do any of this. Claude will tell you to copy and paste the code here, and then it'll be there. But this is just going into, okay, so if you see here, like I said earlier, there's 6 pages to go through. So it's basically telling the code, the system or the AI or the automation or the crawling, whatever you want to call it, that you need to keep going until the end and get all the phone numbers and emails. That's what this is saying. Basically, it's a loop. More code. Yeah, emails. We want emails and we want phone numbers. That's what that's doing. Don't worry about this too much, guys. And also don't worry about this. So this is sort of the general thing you have to do. You don't have to go any deeper than this. And then once you've got all that, you're going to click save and you're going to click start. I'm not going to click start because it's going to run the job and it's going to cost me, even though it's not a lot, I don't need to do that. When you do that, it'll run, it'll take some time, and then live, you're actually going to see the code, not the code, you're actually going to see the program live give you the phone numbers. And let me just show you where. Okay, so as I was here, it was like over here, instead of saying succeeded, it said loading, working or loading or something. Basically it was doing the job. And then it looks like it gave me, I don't know, 125 phone numbers, and then this how much the job costs, and this how much time it took, and then you can see all the details. And I guess this is the text of the ad, and obviously here's the phone number and then the source. Obviously we can't like this is a corporate number, but a lot of these are very useful, right? You can just, like, if you're cold calling or if you're cold SMSing, then you can just text from here. Or if you want to export this to another AI to do automatic texting or automatic calling, like an AI agent, a voice agent, then you would export this data and do other stuff with it. You don't have to manually do it, but that's for another video. But I'm just trying to show you how this thing works and how. So here are some emails, right? I'm trying to see if there's an ad that doesn't have the phone number on the left hand side here, but looks like they all have phone numbers. Holy moly. Okay, anyways, this is more than enough phone numbers to keep your sales team busy, right? So let's just keep scrolling, and then here we have some emails here, and so I put the limit to 200. So the next 200 is probably on the next page. Ooh, somebody text me. So wait, did they go anywhere? Okay, yeah. So once you're done with these 200, then you go to the next page and you can see it changed. And then, like I said, phone numbers are here, and here we have some same emails. Here's another email, which is pretty cool. Some other emails and phone numbers. So that's it, guys. I mean, here is all the data, so you don't have to be clicking around. And then, like I said, you can export this to a file and then do other AI stuff with it, do some automation with it, so you don't have to necessarily text or cold call yourself. And that's it, guys. If you guys found this useful, subscribe to my channel, and if you have any further questions, go ahead and message me through my website at mrmando.ai, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.